This video is part 2 of the Technologies for the Music Classroom. In the first video, we discussed Tone Savvy, the site that's there for music theory for both students and teachers. Today, I'm going to discuss with you several different websites that are also geared toward music theory and a few other things as well. Starting with musictheory.net. There's plenty of useful resources on this site, and it also has an accompanying app that goes along with it. Under the lessons, it takes you through music theory in a very logical manner, starting with the very basic and moving to more advanced information. This is a great resource for the student to have to go back and review. It's also good to use in the classroom when you're trying to introduce information to your class. Here we have the beginnings of music theory when you're talking about the staff. And if you'll notice how it moves through the information of the staff and builds upon that. And continues on, you're talking about the grand staff, etc. Again, this is a great resource. There's exercises here that they can practice with. Note identification, they would go through and of course identify the note that they see on the screen, and it plays the note as they play it. And then it continues on through staff construction and note identification and keyboards and just a huge number of items there. And then here's some tools that the students can use for their theory practice and any kind of practice. There's even a place for staff paper generator. So this is a really good resource that you can use for your students. The next resource I want to point out to you is called 1 Minute Music Lessons. This covers beat and measure, time signature, note value, key signatures, harmonic functions, transposing instruments even. And let me go back and select another. Let's go to lessons. And if you'll notice here, they have just numerous different lessons to assist the music student, assist the teacher in the classroom. Here's your music theory information. Let's look briefly at number 1 here. And then you notice there's a video that goes along with it.
This is the 1 Minute Music Lesson with Leon Harold. In this lesson, we will learn about pitch. Pitch is the relative highness or lowness of a sound. It's important to understand what sound is to understand pitch better. Sound is the vibration of air molecules moving through the air to your eardrum. The speed of the vibrations is called the frequency. Sound frequencies are measured in hertz. Musicians tune the pitch A to the frequency 440 Hz. Since the range of frequencies humans can hear is 20 to 20,000 Hz, we need a simpler system of labeling the frequency range. Pitch is the musical label of a frequency. We only need the first 7 letters of the alphabet to describe any note in the frequency range. As frequencies move higher up,
and then each section has a video of that nature so that you can use them. There's also a section for articles that you can read to assist you, to assist your students. Wonderful resource there. Then there's a toolbox as well that is there for your perusal. So another good resource to have for your students. Then we have Teoria, which is also music theory based. Let's click on the music theory tutorial so you can kind of see. So reading music. Also has some videos there to assist the students. Sample of the beats or pulses in a measure. Here is if you had 3 beats in a measure, 4 beats in a measure. And of course you could use this in class to demonstrate for the students. Note values, let's look at that briefly. Here they're mentioning the note value and what it's worth as far as the number of beats. Notice they've also included in there the English terminology that goes along with that. Again, this is a good resource. Remember, though, that you would already have to practice this with the students for them to fully understand what that measure is about, or those 3 measures are about. But I do recommend it. There's exercises as well that the students can access. Here's one for ear training, learning intervals and that sort of thing. Let's go back to the exercises here. Let's look at, this is all ear training. Let's look at intervals here, construction of intervals. We're waiting for this to load. So we're at intervals of a second. So you're listening to the interval and then you're going to build on that interval. Then you get in here and select, of course, what the correct answer would be. References here to help students figure out where the note is on the keyboard or within the octave. Some articles that would be helpful as well for both students and the teachers. So again, really good resource for the classroom for music. Earmaster is yet another one that is recommended. This is an actual theory course in itself.
Do you want to become a better musician? Or do you want to get top grades in your music theory class? Earmaster for iPad is the ideal training tool for all musicians, from beginner to advanced level. It covers everything you need to build up your musical skills: essential music theory, ear training, sight singing, and rhythm training. It's all there: intervals, chords, scales, sight singing, rhythm training, and much more. For beginners, Earmaster includes a complete course covering the fundamental aspects of music. And for music students, you'll find all you need to get ready for your ear training and sight singing exams. With Earmaster, you can sing, tap, or play your answers in real time and get instant feedback on your pitch and rhythm accuracy. But you can also answer all the exercises using on-screen instruments or answer buttons. You can review your stats at any time and pinpoint the areas that you need to work on. With Earmaster for iPad, you can train your musical skills anywhere, anytime. It's easy to use, motivating, and very efficient. So get Earmaster on your iPad now and start becoming a better musician.
Of course, at the top of this, it also says that it's Music Theory Trainer for PC, Mac, and iPad. So I don't think that they have it out yet for Android tablets, but you can use it on your computer. So again, another possibility that you can use for your students. Smart Music is a very popular music program, and I know that it's very effective for the instrumentalists, band teachers, and their students. I know that they have built more in now for choral students. It gives students a chance to be able to practice their parts if they're getting ready for auditions, all county, that sort of thing. But this is a really good program that is very useful. I personally have not used this, but I do know band director friends who have used it and were very impressed with it. So it might be something worth looking into as a possibility. Another informational thing that I think is important is a website called Noteflight. This is for notation of music. So if you have composition projects for your students, this would be a really good entry-level notation program to use. It's online based, and it's free, and it's very much cheaper or easier to use, I should say, than Finale or the others that are out there. But this would be a great source to use with your students if you have an assignment that you want them to create with composition. This is a nice website that I used a lot as a teacher. It's called blanksheetmusic.net. So on those times that you need music that they can write down on, need paper for them to write their songs on, this is great because you can also customize it a little bit. If you just need all treble clef, you can select that, all bass clef. If you had guitar students and you were teaching that, you could do tablature. If you want grand staff, so you're using both bass and treble clef. Of course, you would probably not use the alto clef unless, for some rare reason you would need that. But then you can print it out on the computer and have it for them to use, or you can just give them this website and they can print off their own. So highly suggest all of these for you that you could peruse and look over to see what would work for you in your classroom. So thanks so much, and we'll go to the third video just with some technology you can use in the classroom, but it's applicable to any classroom.